everyone, and welcome to this creative writing tutorial teaching you how to enhance description. Now, schools do teach this, and it's a very essential part of writing because it basically tells your audience what's happening, and without it your story can become very dull. There are many reasons to enhance description, but here are a few. Number 1, it makes the writing flow better. This actually makes it sound nice. Number 2, more people would read it because it has lots of detail. This is true. More people like to read it because it will just sound better, and it will be more interesting than just a really short, concise, boring story. And it paces the storyline by adding depth. This is true. If a section is going too quickly, then you can always add lots of description to make it both sound good and make it last longer. Now, this is how to enhance the description with various different techniques. First, we have simile and metaphor. So a simile is when you say something that is as big, for example, as something else, or something is like something else. So an example is from Harry Potter here, and then, out in the very middle of a lake, a whirlpool appeared, as if a giant plug had just been pulled out of the lake's floor. So that's a simile. A metaphor is like a simile, but these words have dropped. So it's like his legs were tree trunks to show that they were really big. But it's not his legs were as big as tree trunks, it's just his legs were tree trunks. And these make the writing sound more alive and interesting compared to writing without them. So they really boost the quality of the writing that they're in. Next we have personification. So when you take an inanimate object and give it human characteristics. For example, the clock's face was grinning at me. And this really makes the writing feel alive. Onomatopoeia is when a word is spelt out in the same way as how it is said. For example, bam, pow. And this really makes the writing stick out and makes it much more exciting than writing without it. Pathetic fallacy and alliteration. Pathetic fallacy is when the weather and environment reflect the emotions of the character. This effectively creates mood and allows people to more deeply understand the emotions of the character. For example, if the weather was really sunny and the character was feeling happy, or the weather was like storming and the character was really angry or sad. Alliteration is when 2 or more consecutive words begin with the same letter. For example, by Edgar Allan Poe here, while I nodded, nearly napping, suddenly there came a tapping. So it just exaggerates the words and just adds depth to the writing. Next we have advanced vocabulary. If you really want to make your writing flow well and sound good, you should definitely use more advanced vocabulary. For example, instead of saying strange, you say mysterious. Or instead of saying fun, you say exhilarating. It's a very easy step, but will make people want to read your book more because it's more exciting. It's when you use better, longer, and more interesting vocabulary. This is what all good writers use because of how it increases the quality of the writing. Next, I've put together a comparison of non-descriptive and descriptive writing. I've written both of these. The tree was large and tall, with a brown trunk and green leaves, and John was sad. It was raining. And that was the non-descriptive piece, and as you can hear and see, it's not very interesting, it's boring, and it's really boring to read. Whereas, the leaves of this magnificent oak were as green as a shining emerald. With the breeze blowing by its branches, the tree was swaying. The sky was grey and it was showering, the only light coming from the dismal moon riding the clouds. John felt horribly miserable and wondered whether he would ever be happy again. It contains the same elements, such as the tree, and the tree's branches and its leaves, and how John feels in the bottom. Also, it has the imagery of the storm, but it makes it a lot more interesting. And we can also pick out different creative writing descriptive techniques in here. Breeze blowing by its branches, that is alliteration. And here is the dismal moon riding the clouds. That's personification. John felt horribly miserable. That's more advanced vocabulary than sad. Also is a simile here, as green as a shining emerald. So this just shows that non-descriptive writing doesn't sound, it's just not as good as descriptive writing. Now you try. I want you to use one of the descriptive writing techniques covered to write your own short piece, maybe the same length as what I wrote just there. And then you can really see, maybe you even want to contrast it. And if you do that, then you can really see how good descriptive writing sounds. So feedback. Thank you for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please share with your friends and family. But please complete the online survey at that address. If you're watching this on YouTube, then that web address will be in the description and comments. And if you're not, then you can just type that in. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.